still going to be an opportunity for you.
And everything depends on your team as well. This year I have such a the returning players are like I have 4 of the top 10 scorers in a 15 team league. And most of that's from our power play. We've averaged 2 goal. We played 10 games of league games and we have 20 power play goals. And they move the puck and they have the right perfect combination. And our second power play unit, they hardly ever score and they give up the puck and all this kind of stuff just because of they're mostly first year players and just like you said, that they don't read the play and they got the skills to hang on to the puck, but a lot of times force things and you know, so the challenge to us as coaches is to get them to use their skill and relax and believe in themselves and all that sort of thing.
How do you go about
So,
teaching power play?
pardon me?
I mean, you got a great power play. How do you go about teaching it?
Well, when my son is in charge of the power play, we use a 1-3-1, and that's one benefit. Nobody in our league knows how to kill it. And he gets for 10 minutes, he gets the number one power play unit, and we rotate everybody. Everybody gets a chance at power play. And they work for 10 minutes with one group of penalty killers. We go white and black, and the other end, I have the other group, and I focus more on penalty killing and have them do the kind of power plays teams in our league use. And then we flip, and he works with the number 2 group. Then we do a thing that I think is the best thing I've ever come across. I think it was the Flames, but it could have been another NHL team doing this. It's a specialty team thing. So what happens is at one end, they have a face-off, a 5-0 face-off. They run one option. Then they fire the puck down. As soon as they fire the puck down to break out, the penalty killers jump out. And now it's a 5-on-4. And they have to break out against penalty killers. And they go maybe for 30 seconds. And then they go to the other end. So the other goalie gets it. They run a 5-on-0, dump it down. Penalty killers jump out. And we can vary the situations, 5-on-4, 5-on-3. You can even do it like practice 6-on-5. You can even do it 6-on-5. And it's the best thing I've come across. I came across about 5 years ago. And it's really effective, in my opinion, because it's so hard to practice power play penalty kill just with your team. And that's a really good way that works
So
really
you're
well.
doing 2 out of 60, or every, how often? Like, what's the time that you are willing to spend at that versus others?
Well, that's 30 minutes a week. So one group for 10 minutes works on the power play at each end, where I focus more on penalty killing. And then we rotate. We switch ends, the coaches, and work on the power play. And I work on penalty killing with the other group. And then we do the specialty team sequence that I just described. So it's 30 minutes a week. So, and it, you know, really pays off. And everybody in the team gets a turn at power play and penalty killing. And then after Christmas, we'll kind of solidify who's there. And
Greg, I want to talk about Tom's power play, which is very good. Tom, I know that you've mastered the 1-3-1, and that's a pretty complex power play. You need a bumper, you need the right person, you need puck movement, vision. And Craig, the 5 players he has, they have poise. They see the ice and they can move the puck. Now, are they scoring 5-on-5 as much as you'd like? Maybe not, but boy, on the power play, that particular group is deadly. Last game, Tom, in the third period, I think they scored 3 power play goals to win the
We
game.
were behind 2-0. We scored 2 power play goals and 1 5-on-5.
But my point, Greg, is to execute a structured power play which can flex and movement changes and positional interchange, you have to have really skilled, smart players. And I think every team has, a couple, but to have a unit of five that's skilled, and when he puts his best five together, as he has, he gives everybody else a chance to play. But the result on the five best is quite amazing. So, Craig, I'm going to share a story with you on power play. Bob Murdoch coached the Winnipeg Jets. He was coach of the year that year. Everybody played the power play. They all felt valued. They all penalty killed. They played the power play. The first unit, of course, that was the one that could be creative and operate like Toms within the structure. But the fourth line was the grunt line. They had to outwork you. They had one extra player, and there was really no structure, but it worked. So it's sort of like looking at the cross section of talent you have, and how simple are you going to keep it, and how much are you going to let them play within the structure. And um, this is a pretty special year for you, Tom, with that group of players. And Greg, you're coaching, high school kids coming up, and uh, it's really rare that you get that many skilled, smart players being able to play together and get results like that.
Like our team is really, we you dress 20, so we have 18 skaters. So 9 of our skaters are second year, and 9 of our skaters are first year. And a huge game difference in composure. And then a lot of my second year players I've coached before too. So they're more used to hanging on to the puck and making plays and doing things. But so the challenge is to try to get the first years, up there so they can make an impact on the game. So I think that's a challenge of most coaches. Because I know when I coach college and all that, I mean, one year at University of Calgary, we got a guy that scored. He led Canada major junior in scoring. I have no idea why he didn't play in the NHL. Got 81 goals, 81 assists, and the year before he got 135 points. And he could dish the puck. He was a 1 second player. He got the puck. He knew where everybody was, and his one-timer was unstoppable, about an inch under the crossbar. That was Jason Krywalak, and he led he you know major junior the whole country. And there was some other really good players, and that power play was really something. But that's the closest power play I've seen at that, for a level to the one I have right now. But every year is different, right? You get different mix of players.
I don't know if it was Rumsfeld or who it was, but it was you go to war with the army you have, not the one you wish you had.
Yeah.
Greg, what's worked best for you on power play in terms of simplification of structure and getting a start and getting it across?
I leave my power play alone for the most part. I just give basic structure and some ideas, but I really don't go into nuances and details and spend a bunch of time on it. I try to teach a lot of concepts that go towards the power play. So we'll do a lot of keep away games within general structure of a power play. So at first, it's just keep possession. Then I throw in a goal and say, hey, you can score if you want. And that's, teaching the power play without teaching the power play.
Well, I don't know if this is outdated or not, but I sort of look at the way teams used to penalty kill, and there's a passive box, a tight box, and there's a semi-active box, and there's a full press. Now, a passive box, tight box, I would use against a highly skilled power play like Dom's. I wouldn't chase them and run around and create a lot of seams. Now, semi-active, that's sort of conventional. They're going to busy sticks, taking away passes through passing lanes, pressuring the puck, whether it's a 50-50, and using the word rodeo, Craig, when it is a free puck, everybody goes for 8 seconds and presses. That's a Tim Bothwell rule of penalty kill that he introduced coaching in the NHL, and it's worked pretty effective for him. And if the other team got the puck back and possessed it, they retreated to their penalty kill. But I had success teaching power play against. Okay, if they have a passive, they're going to play you passively. What do you have to do? What's going to work best for you? And that to me is sort of like get that puck up top and get pucks through to the net. And you weren't going to have a 1-3-1, but you'd have maybe three up top to at least get pucks through to the net and win the battle. And the semi-active, you're going to do the give and goes and rolls and high lows and puck movement and not do much interchange of position. You may try, but that's that's the conventional power play that I'm talking about in most levels of hockey. That when they pressure, and some teams in the NHL, they're all pressure. I think you have to really do a different power play tactic against that. So the tactic I've taught is to spread long passes, an L pass, quick